Hello friends, welcome to my channel UiPath to UiPath. So today in this video we are going to learn how to create a variables. So in my previous video we have already discussed how we can download UiPath Community Edition, and after that the overview of the UiPath tool interface. So how it looks like and what are the menu items, what are the different panels. If you missed those videos, I have already pasted a description, the links in a description. Please go and watch. Thanks. So now in this particular video, how we are going to create a variables, and which is demonstrated by using a simple process. Okay. So here, before going to create a sample process, we need to know what is the meaning of the variables. So the variables are nothing but a containers that can hold multiple data values. So okay, variables contain, it's like a boxes that can hold multiple values. Okay, and for example, let's say if we have an email address, so email address is nothing but a variable name, and and the value is nothing but abc@gmail.com. So here the variable name is email address and the value is abc@gmail.com. So the value maybe changes depending on the inputs that we are giving or a data manipulations we are doing. So the next thing is, what are the properties of the variables? Okay, so how we can create. So if you see, we already familiarized with the panels here, right? So the variables panel is under here. So if you can see, if I click on variables, so here there is a variables panel. So here we can create our variables. So these are the different properties. There are four types of properties we have for variables: name property, variable type, scope, default. So how we can create now? So if you read through, it's really a self-explanatory. Select an activity to set variable scope. So in order to create any variable, you need to drag and drop any activity into your designer panel. So for that, I just going to activities panel, just drop a sequence here. So here I've just dropped a sequence. Now again I'm going back to click on variables. So see, now I'm able to create a variable. Before it is in disable mode, but now it is enabled. So how I'm creating a variable here. So here now we are going to demonstrate a process that we can run. Okay. So now the robot is going to ask a user, please enter your username. So the robot is asking for an input from the user. So for such situation, there is an activity called input dialog box. So here if I type input dialog, so if you see, this is an input dialog box, and see, it's a best practice for every activity you need to change the display name. So here username, let's call it as input username. Okay, so this is easy to understand. Okay, and now the title text must be quoted. So if it is in the title, we are just giving as username, and the label, please enter your username. So hope this is self-explanatory, friends, so everyone able to understand and following it. So now if you see the properties for the input dialog box, see, there is an output. So the robot is asking user to input a value, and that value is going to be stored in a variable. So for that we need to create a variable now. So our variable should be a descriptive, easy to understand. So it should be a camel case starting with the lowercase username, and the variable type is a string. We'll discuss more about what the different types of variables we have in UiPath Studio in the next videos. So now we just understand how we can create a variables. So the default value is empty, so just leave it, because we are asking the user to input, and that whatever the value user is giving, that can be stored in the variable called username. So just whatever the variable you have created just now, you need to be give as an output. So my variable is username. Okay, so once you give this, if it is once it is done, how you can see what is the username that user has inputted. So you just go to activities. Now we are going to learn another activity called log message. Just drag and drop the log message here, and the log level, mark it as info. So you can see, if you use this log message, you can see in the output panel, you can see the output panel, what is the value that has been retrieved from the input username activity. So I'm just passing the variable that we have created. It's called username, and just done. Okay, now you can see what are the different types that we can create a variable. From the variables panel, you can create a variable, and there is another way. If you just click on this, that I will show you how we can create in the next in a minute. So if I just save my workflow and just run, see now the robot is running, and this is my title, username is my title, and this is please enter your name is nothing but a label. Okay, label of the input dialog box. So let's type Vishnu and just press OK, and now it is our process is completed, successfully done. If you see the output, because you have used the log message activity, that's why it is showing in a output panel. So this is called output panel. You can see, you can also use a write line which can show your output into the result will be shown in the output panel. So there are different activities to view the outputs. So log message will be, if you connect it to orchestrator, this log message will be very useful. Okay, so the write line, if I just use a write line activity, it's not any difference. So we just username, which will be the same thing will appear if I run. The robot recurs and just type Vishnu, just done. So if you see the output panel, see there are two types, Vishnu and Vishnu. So this is how you create a variable and you can use it. Okay, and another way that you can use a variable is from the designer panel. So in the designer panel that you can create automatically. Okay, how you can create an activity means you can create a variable. So you just go to activities and look for assign activity. So if you just search for assign, just drag and drop here, and if you see the to field, you just make your cursor in there and just press Ctrl K. So now you can automatically create, means yeah, by using a shortcut key you can create a variable. So I am creating status. So my variable is called as a status. Okay, and that's it. And now the variable here you need to give, so that the value that I am assigning to this variable called status is logged in. Okay, so now if you see there is no validation errors. Okay, so this is how you can create a variable by using assign activity. Okay, and also you can create a variable here. So if you create variable in the assign activity, if you see the variables panel, it will automatically create for you variable type and sequence. You need not to worry about it. Scope is nothing but, we already discussed in the previous video, the interface overview of the tool. So please uh, watch that video to get understand. Is nothing but to increase the variable usage. So if you want to use the variable outside of this sequence, you have to increase the scope. Okay, so that's how now how we are going to concatenate two variables. So now I want to just remove the bright line. I want to print username and status together. Okay, now just concatenation operation is by using a plus and the status. See, it is automatically pops up. So if you run this, just save it, run. So it is asking for my name, Vishnu, and see the output panel. C is already logged in. So this is how it will using the concatenation. So you can concatenate two variables of any data type like this if it is allows. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. I hope you understood. Please comment and subscribe if you have any questions, and have a nice day.